Hey, Better Club. My name is Lachelle Beamy. I am so excited that you guys are here with me tonight. We are going to talk all about how the heck we can motivate ourselves and our families to get on board with our vision for our business by using a vision board. You guys, I am going to completely nerd out on you a little bit about some brain science things that are going to allow for your vision board to actually work. But before I do, I just want to make sure that I welcome everybody here inside of the Better Club, where we are a tribe of people who want to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business. We love the fact that we get a chance to show up every day and become the best versions of ourselves, better than what we were yesterday. And in order to really truly show up, make a contribution, impact the world around us, and ultimately, make a life that's even better for our friends, our family, ourselves. And it is so much fun to be able to hear you guys telling me about your dreams, your goals, how you're showing up to being better so that you can do better and having better. It is so much fun. And tonight we're going to talk all about the having better, right? And the things that we can allow for our families to imagine, the things that we allow our families to dream about, and helping ourselves use brain science and some, just real basic techniques and tips can actually help you to stay into motivation zone when you are like in summer, right? Like, here's the deal, guys. I don't know if you're like this, but my family is home. It throws my entire routine off. My husband's a teacher, so he's home. All I want to do is hang out with my family, right? And oftentimes they sometimes, forget that I have a business that I'm running alongside of my full-time job as an anesthesia provider. And it can be so easy for me to just be like, like, I'll just do that tomorrow, right? And I tell my clients that I work with, I'm like, you can give yourself a day of grace whenever you need it. Like, today I need to spend time on myself, for myself, but tomorrow's a new day. And the problem is that we cannot give ourselves grace every single day, day after day after day, because what that does is it gets us into a place that we don't want to be a couple weeks down the road. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that the space that you are in your business right now is actually a reflection of where you were 3 months ago. I'm going to repeat that. Where you are right now in your business is a reflection of the activity that you were doing consistently 3 months ago. So if you're struggling right now with your business, I want you to think back and, ask yourself, was I doing? What did my life look like 3 months ago? Now, if you do not want 3 months from now to look crappy, you're going to have to make the decision to show up right now, even though it's beautiful outside, even though you'd rather be going on a bike ride or in the pool or whatever else, right? There are things that we can do in a very small, subtle way to take advantage of really great brain science to keep us motivated. So, first off, you guys, let me just welcome everybody on the YouTube channel. If you're tuning in live on YouTube, I want to say hey. And if you guys are here inside the Better Club on Facebook, I want to say hey as well. If you guys are on YouTube and you want a little bit more interaction, you want to have that feeling of community and that feeling of tribe, come on over into the Better Club on Facebook so that we get a chance to have a back and forth conversation inside comments. If you are brand spanking new to the group, I want to make sure that I welcome you guys. This is such a fun place to be, and I love helping people show up in best versions of themselves in life and in business, right? And so if you're brand new, welcome. Tell us that you're brand new. Tell us what it is that you're trying to grow yourself. Let us know, you guys, like, if you are struggling right now with, keeping that motivation going in the summer, right? Are you also struggling with that a little bit? And if not, like, hey, I want to hear that too, so that we can celebrate with you. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the whole vision board thing. And I think that I honestly don't even know like where this idea came from, but a few years ago I did this with my family and it was a complete game changer, and I just had to share it with all of you guys, especially if you're really struggling with motivation or the family just doesn't understand why you can't just play all day. And so one of the things that we did was I went to my hairdresser friend and I said, "Hey girlfriend, do you have a bunch of old magazines that you don't need anymore?" So she sent me home with a pile, this big. It was awesome. I went to the local, Hobby Lobby or Walmart or Michael's, it didn't even matter, but I got a big piece of tag board and I wanted to make it really special. And if you guys saw my picture that I posted here inside the Better Club last night, you saw that our family has this like big vision board that is beautiful and it's framed and it's up hanging in our family room so that we get a chance to see it and we get a chance to live it all the time. And so if you are like me and you want to have like this beautiful piece of art that we create as a family together, find a fun frame that you want to at, Hobby Lobby or wherever, and put that sucker on display. Now, I also have a vision board in my bathroom that I did for just myself, and that is literally behind my mirror so that when I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm brushing my teeth, doing all the things, I can actually see it behind me. So it's something that is in front of me all the time. I also have one that I thought it'd be really fun just to share with you because it's right here. This was one of my very first vision boards that I created when I was a brand new business owner. And I just put it right here on the top of my binder that I had that all my business stuff was going into. And it's really fun actually, because when I look at this, everything that I wanted on this vision board, I've accomplished every single one of them. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I did all of them within like a year to a year and a half of me putting this vision board together. They're very, very powerful. Now, one of the things that I think is really kind of cool when you think about a vision board is that it allows you to have some intentionality behind where you want to focus. What is the thing that you want to concentrate on? If you're like me, I have all kinds of things that I want to do with myself, all kinds of things I want to do with my time. Things that are maybe more fun, things that are less fun kind of get down to the wayside, right? Like that's real life. And so I think that when I can, stop squirreling and I can get really, really clear, like this was on the vision board that I have next to me, was the first big leadership title in my network marketing company. And they called it the gateway to the good stuff, because once you got to that place, then you were, like really able to unlock the full compensation plan. And I was able to meet that goal within a year. I was also have on here a podcast. I have in here, it's little microphone from a podcast, and I've had my podcast now for 2.5 years. So you can see that these things are coming to fruition. I also have in here some kids drinking clean water. So when I started my business 6 years ago, one of the first things I did was I designated some of my profits to go towards an organization called Water for Life that allowed me to give kids clean drinking water. And for every I'm trying to think of how much I ended up donating, but the amount that I donated, that was the goal. It was going to help 1,000 people get access to clean water. And my goal was met within a $50 window in a year from when I set it. And I was able to literally, because of my side gig, give 1,000 people fresh clean drinking water in Africa. You guys, like, this is not small stuff. These are little tiny things that we can put into our vision and allow ourselves some intentionality and some focus to help us keep going. Okay. Now, where do the kids come in, right? What is really fun is that I allowed the kids to think about, like, what would you love? Like, what would you love to have? What would you love to do? Where would you love to visit? And I just let them have fun with it. And what they did was they cut out pictures of Disney World. They cut out pictures of these giant water slides. They cut out pictures of a specific car. They cut out a picture of a dog. And you guys, this is hilarious because my husband was like, heck no, we are never getting a dog. If you follow me online, you know that we have a beautiful little Labradoodle, Charlie, who we've had for 4 years. Okay. So it works. And I truly believe that we would not have had that dog if it wasn't for that vision board, because it allowed our family to kind of have it in our front mind all the time. And so we talked about dogs. We, made reference to dogs. And when the time was right, we literally got the perfect dog, and my husband just gave in. Right. And so allowing ourselves to think about what it is that we want as a family was really, really cool. And then what we did was everybody had their own little pile of things. And then we talked about, well, what does that picture mean to you? And my little daughter was able to say, that is, whatever. I'm trying to think because I don't have it in front of me. She would say, that's where I want to go and visit, or that's where me and you, mommy, are going to go by ourselves, or, I'm going to have that in my room. Whatever. And we were able to share our dreams with one another, and we were able to bond over what life could look like, right? So we took these magazines and we cut out the pictures and we put them on the tag board, and I put it in this beautiful frame, and I had it up in the living room. Okay. Now, what was so cool about that is that whenever I felt like I was in a funk, right, I could look up at that picture and I could say to myself, you know what? That is for my kids. My kids would love to go to Disney World. My kids would love to be able to go on that water slide. My kids would love to have that in their rooms. And so it allowed me to kind of take myself out of the picture every once in a while and say, you know what, Lachelle, remember that this is more than just about you or even the people that you're serving. This is about your family and the things that this can do for your family, the things that they can, have experience because of you and the hard work that you're doing. And so that kept me going. All right. Now, it also was really, really powerful because it allowed for us to be able to um, really start to see the big picture as a family. So for example, if I were to, needing to send some messages or get my social media plan going or take care of some customer orders, and my kids are like, "Mom, I want to go on a bike ride," or "Mom, I want to go to the pool." I could say, "Hey guys, like I need you to give me 1 hour and I will set a timer. And I promise you that after that 1 hour, I will be done and we'll do whatever you want to. But remember that mommy is working towards that Disney trip." And I would point to the picture and I'd say, "Remember, mommy's working towards that." And they wanted that to happen. So, like, "Okay, mom, yep, we'll go and play, we'll go do whatever." And I'm not going to promise you that our kid's going to be like perfectly well behaved every time, but it did work for them to see like what are they going to get out of this, right? I also would recommend, introducing some smaller wins into your vision board as well, so that when they can see that things are coming to fruition, they're going to get a chance to recognize and put the pieces together like, "Oh my gosh, like you're right, mom, you are working towards this stuff. You are going to allow this stuff to happen. And I'm going to give you that time." How cool is that, right? So I think that we can really, really recognize the power of just the entire family getting on board and the entire family having kind of a mutually beneficial thing that we're going after, and to allow ourselves to be able to see it regularly was huge. Okay. So now I promised you guys some brain science. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that because it works. And I already gave you some demonstration of things that I've already, brought into my life because of my intentionality with my vision board and seeing it on a regular basis and allowing it to motivate me when I don't feel motivated. But I'm going to give you this really cool story that I don't think I've shared with anybody publicly. I've shared with some people one-on-one with this, but I've actually had this specific condo on my vision board for approximately 2 years. And I saw this place. It was in Orange Beach, Alabama. You guys, it's gorgeous. If you've never been to Orange Beach, the water is stunning. It's beautiful, clear blue. The water is like white powder. Beautiful, beautiful part of the country. And this particular condominium it's so high end, it's so luxury, and each one of the units has its own hot tub on the balcony itself. Like they have their own private hot tub. I love hot tubs so much. I love sitting outside. I love listening to good music. I love looking at the stars. Maybe it's a Minnesota thing, but just being warm when it's like snowing around me, I just love them so much. And I would always think to myself, like, how cool would it be to be able to have the opportunity to sit in one of these hot tubs and be able to watch, you know, the moon and to hear the ocean, and just how amazing would that be, you guys? So I booked that VRBO. I booked the VRBO. I decided after some prompting with some of my private clients that I was going to have a retreat. And I wanted this to be like next level. I'm bringing brain science into it, just like what I'm going to talk about in a moment. But what I'm doing is I'm creating an experience. It's called the Becoming Experience. And the entire time that we're there at this all-inclusive retreat, because I have somebody that's going to be making all of the meals, like there's going to be swag, it's going to be amazing. We are going to be stepping into the life that we want to live. It's like us stepping into our vision board, and we're going to live that. We're going to feel it. We're going to smell it. We're going to taste it. We're going to experience it over a matter of 5 days. Like, how cool is that, right? That vision of that hot tub on that balcony in that condo, like literally, you guys, it is the exact same view as the one that we're going to. And that has been on my vision board for 2 years. And even though I might not have like personally like looked at it when I was getting ready in the morning and concentrated on it, it was something that I was consistently exposing myself to. And when it came time to deciding where I was going to have this retreat, I had looked in a couple of other places and this place came up and I'm like, that's it. That's the view. I'm doing that one. And it totally helped me to level up everything that I was going to do with this retreat. Now, this is an aside. I have only been offering this to my private clients up to this point. I have decided that I'm going to open it up to, I think I have 2 spots left. There might be one that's spoken for, so there might only be one, and I have to double check my messenger. I didn't plan on talking about this, guys, but there might be one, might be 2 spots left. So if this is something that you would love to experience, the Becoming Experience is called, and live in your dream life for 5 days, have one-on-one coaching with me. I have some like killer exercises and things planned to help you lay down the things that you no longer are needing and step into this new life for yourself. And if that's something that you want any information about, just type the word retreat in the comments and I'll make sure that I get you some. But honestly, like, this is not going to last for very long, because I might even just have 1 spot left, and it is going to be in the last weekend in September. It's going to be amazing. So, okay, enough about that. Let's do the brain science a little bit. So when we think about our life and what we want it to look like, oftentimes we have a hard time dreaming, which is why sometimes just looking through a magazine will help us kind of bring that out a little bit. I used to, when I was a kid, you guys, I used to cut out pictures of people in wearing suits from the JCPenney catalog, because it would be me reminding myself that I wanted to be a doctor someday. Now I have my doctorate degree. I work in a hospital. Like, it all starts with just allowing ourselves to dream through pictures. Okay. So when you can use pictures, is powerful. Now, let me give you another demonstration of this. Okay. This is where the brain science comes in. If I were to have you think about a tree, okay, I'm going to give you a moment. I want you to think about a tree. What do you think of? And you can certainly put in the comments, like, what is it that you think of when you think of tree? Okay. Some of you guys are going to be thinking about an evergreen tree. Some of you guys are going to be thinking of a fruit tree, or maybe this big, shade tree that you had when you were a kid. But I would love to know how many of you guys actually in your mind saw the letters TREE. If you did, I want to talk to you for real. What happens is that when we are thinking of things, our brain automatically thinks in pictures. So very unlikely that any of you guys actually spelled the word tree in your brain. You were thinking of what a tree looks like. It might have been a specific tree from your life. It might have just been something that popped into your head, like a Google image, right? We think in pictures. And so our brain automatically thinks in pictures. So when we are trying to create this life that we want, we are going to want to do that in pictures in a way that we can start seeing that life come to fruition. Okay. Now, the other thing that I've also been taught, and I've taken classes on this, books on this. So this is a tiny little piece of this puzzle. And I can certainly give you guys all kinds of cool science around this in even more depth if you want me to. So just let me know if you want that. But one of the things that I've also recognized is that sometimes you have to be really careful what pictures you choose. So I've also done this with my family, where instead of getting magazines from the hairdresser, what we did was we went into Google Images or even Pinterest. And I tell them, okay, guys, think about something that you would love. And they'll tell me, and then we just go ahead and Google that. And then I let them pick out the picture that really resonates with them. Because there are literally people who have told me that they had a house, for example. They really just wanted to own a house. It wasn't necessarily a specific house that they wanted, but they just wanted a house. So they found a picture of a house in a magazine and they put that on their vision board. Their house literally looked like the one in the vision board, and they didn't even realize it. They didn't even put the pieces of the picture together. It literally just happened that way. And so It's a subconscious thing that we're doing where we're looking for something. We want our outside world to match our inside world. And when we have that picture inside of our head, we're going to actually find things that are going to line up with our inside world. And so just be careful. If there's something that you don't necessarily want or you're really picky about it, I would decide to find a picture that is the most representative of what it is that you want. And I would choose that. Okay. Now, the other thing that really, really helps to solidify this stuff in our brains is the way that we feel when we think of that picture. And that's why when my family and I sat around and we talked about our picture, I had them tell me stories about what that picture represented to them, how it made them feel. Then, when we can look at the pictures, we can actually feel the emotions that we were feeling when we picked out the picture. Okay. Now, what happens is that when we are putting these little these pictures, not word, these pictures in our minds of what we want, when we have emotions attached to them, we actually have more synapses or more connections in our brain that help to solidify that exact like image in our brains. So whenever we can attach an emotion to it, it's going to create different pathways, better pathways, and stronger pathways to allow that to happen. Okay. Again, our outside world needs to match our inside world. So when we are thinking of something, we are going to look for, we are going to create things that are going to match our inside world. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want you to really imagine and think about in this space, this is really fascinating, is that our brain does not have the capacity to know the difference between what has been already accomplished or already happened versus what was imagined. So my memory can deceive me. I can literally have such a solid picture in my brain of what this vision could look like, where I'm literally like feeling it. I can smell it. I can taste it. I have the emotions that go with it. I can create an imagination picture in my brain so solid that my brain literally does not know if that was something that I imagined or it already happened, that that's the life that I'm already living. When we are living inside of that space, we're going to make different choices, aren't we? If I am living a Walmart life versus, a Nordstrom's life, there's a difference in the way that I'm going to show up, right? If I, you know, want to spend $8 on my jeans or I want to spend $200 on my jeans, I'm going to make different choices day by day that is going to help me to bring that reality into fruition. So if we are creating this imaginatory life that we really want, and we start to feel like we're living into that life, we're going to start making choices. We're going to have an easier time getting up earlier than we were. We're going to have an easier time, making different food choices or exercise choices or relationship choices, because we're going to, again, want our outside world to match our inside world. How cool is that? And that's just a tip of the iceberg there, guys. So I hope that this really helped. Let me know if you've done this before. Let me know if you can't wait to try this with your own family. Even if it's just you and your husband, it's going to allow you guys to solidify your dreams and your goals together so that he or she is more likely to support you if you're the dreamer in the family versus the more conservative, stable person. Because that's us right now. I'm definitely more of the visionary, and my husband is more of like the rock solid stable guy who doesn't want to take any risks. And I think that when we've been able to build this together and we can see where each other's coming from, it allows us another opportunity to communicate what that would look like. It allows us to get on the same page better. And when you can have your close oh my goodness, your close interconnected family, your friends who also believe in you, it's going to solidify that vision. It's going to give you the momentum that you wouldn't have without that. So get into this. It's really, really cool, guys. It's so much fun. And I really would love to hear from you. Post your pictures below in the comments or inside of the Better Club when you're done with your vision boards so that I can see them. I can love on them. I can give you like some celebration because it's such a cool exercise. And I hope that you guys got a little bit out of this. So a couple of announcements. Again, if you want to claim that spot or two inside of the Becoming experience, the retreat that I have planned in September, I want you to comment retreat in the comments, okay? I also want to remind you guys that every single Tuesday at 7:30 Central, I go live here inside the Better Club. And if it's not me, it's another expert that I bring into the group. And I have somebody planned very shortly because I have a trip that I'm heading on to Wyoming, which I'm so excited about. Anyway, so just remember that at 7:30 every single Tuesday, 7:30 Central, I'm going to bring you some type of a training that's going to allow you to be better, do better, have better in life and in business. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the dry erase board that I use to help myself and my family keep track of my goals so that we can cheer, me on together. I can be laser focused. I can step up my game if I have to, if I'm kind of slacking or not meeting the goals that I have. And it's such a cool visual reminder to my family and myself of where I'm at and where I want to be at the end of the month. And so I'm going to show you all about that. I'm going to teach you how I'm doing it, give you really practical tools that you can use to get yourself motivated, even when it's really hard in the summer. And so make sure that you are tuning in next Tuesday for that. And if some of you guys had a chance to check out, I put inside of the Better Club today, hot off the press, I am doing a masterclass on Thursday, July 14th, and it's all about a quantum leap. I am going to be bringing in quantum physics and brain science, but not in like a over your head way. I'm going to literally show you how you can use amazing science to help you get to where you want to go faster. I'm going to help you get into flow. I'm going to help you break through the things that are holding you back from where you want to go in your business. And I'm going to help you take a quantum leap. It's going to be phenomenal. So if you have not, marked that you're going into that event yet, make sure that you do that. Make sure that you tag your friends in this, guys, because we want as many people leveling up as we possibly can. Remember, we have an abundance mindset here and inside the Better Club. And so make sure that you're letting all of your friends know about this stuff because we want to make sure that we're making a difference, right? If you haven't already, get a screenshot in this. Let people know that you are tuning in to personal development training. Tag me so that I can shout you out in my audience as well. Because what that does is it teaches your audience that you are invested in yourself. And because you're invested in yourself, you will be invested in them because you want to show up as the best version of yourself. You are going to do the best thing for them. And so by showing them that you're tuning into this kind of stuff, it is going to make them know, like, and trust you even more. So make sure that you're doing that. I will see you guys all next Tuesday. I hope you have a great night and I will be cheering you on. Bye, everybody.